Welcome to the Art of Hitting channel. Today we have the class of 2023 Florida Half Century Softball Hall of Fame inductees. And the gentleman or the player that and he is a gentleman, that we're going to talk about is none other than the Venom coach and leader, Cliff Stratton. So let's hear what they have to say about Cliff Stratton.
Now, Jimmy mentioned Bruce. Bruce Meade, if you don't know him, you've missed a great honor. What a great guy. Now, Ed put together, I played with Ed's 35 team, 40-year-old team, 50-year-old team, and he put together these great traveling teams. Sherry used to call him Richie Ritz, a guy out of Lauderdale. Now, Ed told me, he says, you're a very good player, you deserve to be on this team. But just make sure Bruce gets there on time. That's a true story. Now, I live in Bradenton, so does Bruce, so that was my primary job. Right, Ed?
Right.
That's true. To speak for Cliff Stratton tonight, Ed Rose and Pete Tickens.
I was hoping we were going to be walking up here together. I guess that's not going to happen. Come on, Pete, get up here. Okay. Well, look, one thing I want to make perfectly clear. I am not Cliff's son. Okay, that's fun.
In your collar.
What? Right there. I forgot my glasses, can't find them, they're my wife's. So I got the cameras, everything, but didn't have my glasses. Okay. This is a serious moment because Cliff's a very good friend of mine. And I played with Cliff now, I think, for 8 years with them. It's been a great 8 years. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but it's an honor for me to do this for Cliff. He really didn't want it. We had to force him to, put the stuff in, and he's kind of a low-profile guy, but a super guy. It's a very, I want to thank the board and Mike for what you do here to honor these players, all the players. And Mike's done this with the dinners and improved it as we've gone along here. Great organization. The board does a great job. When I thought about this, I said, what makes a good coach? Cliff's gone in as a coach and player, but he was a great player. He played with the legends. He could have made the Hall of Fame as a hitter. I mean, I watch him in batting practice. He hits he swings better than half our team, and we got a pretty good team, But here are some of the characteristics of a good coach that I wrote down. Knowledge of the sport, communication and listening skills, knowledge of their athletes and players, motivational skills, eagerness to learn, sharing knowledge, knowing the athlete, discipline, and in our age group, recruiting. Recruiting is a big one for sure. In summary, good coaches can make a difference. Great coaches teach lessons that last for a lifetime. They possess strong leadership skills, adaptability, looking at the players' needs, and the bottom line is what was the impact of that coach. And so let me just read a few things here that, the stats may be off. You're all not going to remember them anyhow. But he was 7 Florida half-century state championship teams to date, and we're going to try to win one again this year. It's 7 or 8, I don't know. He in his league in where he lives in Port Charlotte. In his Port Charlotte league, he's structured that league like the Florida half century. As a player coach, he's managed his teams since 2014 had ranked #1 in the 70 and the 74 division. Team of the year for the past 3 years. Numerous awards in major and major plus division. Pete can cover that when he gets up here. It's pretty amazing, actually, the run that Cliff's had as coach. And the coach is, that and the sponsor and them working together is critical. And again, I'm sure Pete's going to talk about that a little. That tells most of the story. But I personally think that Cliff does an excellent job. It's not to say that he hadn't pissed me off once or twice. But if you're going to do the right thing, you're probably going to piss a guy, a head case like me off. There's a lot of head cases in the game. But he's a great guy. I'd love to bring I'd love to bring Cliff up here. But his wife gave him a cruise for his 80th birthday. So he surely couldn't miss that. So the best thing we're going to do now is bring Pete up here, the guy that makes his Venom organization hum, and he'll tell you a little bit about why Cliff's the best.
Thank you, Ed, for your thoughtful, kind, and accurate accounting of the many highlights of Cliff Stratton's senior softball career. A special thanks to Mike Knowles, chairman of the Florida Half Century Organization, and his directors on the Hall of Fame committee for bestowing this special honor on Cliff Stratton, Venom's manager. Cliff and I met some 13 years ago when he and Marty Sorger were managing the Weiss Tech softball team, and they asked me to sponsor. After 2 years of sponsorship, we found ourselves teammates on the well-organized and exceptionally well-disciplined Florida Legends team. After 2 years of playing with the Legends, Rainer Martin, manager and sponsor, decided to retire and fold the team. It was Cliff at the last meeting of the Legends that stepped forward and said he saw a lot of talent and some of the players wanted to continue to play. He volunteered to manage if I would sponsor. I asked for a few days to make that big decision. And that is how and when the Venom team came to be. Cliff was the actual catalyst and responsible for the formation of the Venom team. Because of the tight time constraints, and it said that a picture's worth 1,000 words, on behalf of the Venom team, we had this commemorative pictorial award prepared for Cliff. This picture is a testimonial as to some of Cliff's accomplishments as a founding member and the manager of the Venom softball team. Let me explain a little about the picture. In this picture, there are only Major Plus, First Place, or Championship awards. There are no major AAA awards on that wall. All of these were won under Cliff's management. You'll notice under there are 8 consecutive Major Plus SSUSA Tournament Champion trophies. There are 8 consecutive SSUSA Major Plus Eastern National trophies. There are 8 consecutive major or national world titles, 4 Triple Crown trophies, and numerous other SSUSA tournament trophies. For the sake of time, an equal amount of trophies were awarded Cliff by the ISSA Association. Of the 400 teams presently registered in the ISSA, only one team in the entire organization is ranked Major Plus, and that's Cliff Stratton's Venom team. 2 years ago, all of the major gold teams boycotted the ISSA tournament and threatened not to come if Venom was placed in their bracket. They then decided, and we played the next 2 years in the 65 major and Major Plus. And for those of you that know, some of our players were in the high 70s and were playing 65. 10, 12, 13, 14 years is a big span. In the SSUSA, Cliff received a letter from Terry Hennessy stating that of the over 800 registered teams, 2 teams were going to be re-ranked to the new classification of Super Major Plus. Timberworks of California and Venom of Florida. Earlier this year, I had the honor of giving Cliff's induction speech into the prestigious Florida Senior Sports Hall of Fame. At present, there are less than 65 major plus players, managers, and sponsors throughout the United States that have received that prestigious honor. I was proud for Cliff to be awarded into that Hall of Fame, and at the same time, Team Venom was awarded Team of the Decade. In the Florida's half century for the past 8 years, Venom has played in the top bracket and has received numerous Team of the Year awards. In 2021, Cliff managed the team to a perfect record. He won every monthly tournament without a single loss. I think that record will hold in the books for a while. I want to thank you for bestowing this honor on a great player, an even greater manager, and just a fine, fine human being, and the guy that I'm proud to call my friend, Cliff Stratton. Thank you very much.
Well, Cliff Stratton, welcome to the Florida Half Century Softball Hall of Fame, going down in the class of 2023. Well deserved, my friend, joining all these other Florida Half Century legends. And for those of you out there who have not listened to the Dugout on Spotify, don't miss the opportunity. Look for the Dugout on Spotify. Don't forget to hit subscribe.